Welcome back, guys. So we're going to continue on health indicators, but this time around we want to look at custom health indicator. So uh, uh, you might want to create your own health indicator for some reason. Maybe you want to your system depends on some external system that you want to check the health of that external system. You know, integration of systems is very common these days. You find that you have your own system that makes an API call to some other system, and the life of your system is dependent on that particular API. If that API is down, then your system is down also. Or there could be some other use cases where you want to check some values in a database, and based on that you can do a determination whether your system is up or is down. This is when now we talk of Actuator custom health indicator. So if you want to create your own custom health indicator, you will have to create a class that extends AbstractHealthIndicator and override a method doHealthCheck, or you can create a class that implements health indicator and override a method health. So those classes must then be tagged as Spring Beans, and if they are Spring Beans, what Spring will do, if it finds a bean of that type of health indicator, Spring will then add those indicators or those health indicators or into your Actuator health endpoint. Then they will now be used to determine the overall health status of your application. Remember, in the last video I talked about composite status, that status up or down is composite in the sense that all other endpoints have been put together to have been evaluated together to give a complete whole status. So if we say it's up, it means all others are up. If one of them is down, then the whole status becomes down. It depends on how you want to configure your health status. So when you override those methods, which is the doHealthCheck or the health, you want to return some status in your in those methods when you're implementing them. So I'm just going to show some code quickly. Let's quickly go back to our application. So at the moment we have management endpoint show details. So if I run this code here, as we can see, we have all these endpoints that we already had previously. So what I'm going to do, I already wrote code in advance to avoid some time wasting. I'm just going to make sure the code goes back to where it was before, and I'm going to run it for you quickly. Alright, and I'm going to execute the health status. So we have DB, disk space, and ping, and they are all up, and the overall status is up. So I'm going to put my own custom indicator, and I'm just gonna say health down build. I'm just returning down status for my own custom health indicator. So let's see how this will affect the status of the health status of our application. So if I say, as you can see now, the status is down. And why is it down? It's down because we have added our own custom status, which is here, and that custom status is down. But as you can see, this doesn't really say much to you. You don't know what's happening. You might want to furnish this status with some more information to tell what is wrong and stuff like that. So that's why now I have a new implementation here. I'm just going to comment out this one quickly. We see here we are providing some details. So let's run the code again. Now we see status is down. Why? My API is down because the certificate key has expired. Or you could say because the external service I'm calling is down, and so my status is down. So now you understand why we said the status is composite. You see, it's down, it affects the whole status. So if I was to come to the code and change it to say it's now up, and then I run the code again, we will see that now the overall health status would be up. As we can see, the status is up. So that is all. If you want to, I'm not going to do demonstration on the abstract health indicator. You can read more about it, but most of the time we use the health indicator. All right, let me go back to the slides. Also, you can also play around with these built-in statuses. So let's, before we even do that, I'm just gonna maybe choose one of these, unknown or out of service. Let's see what we get. Unknown status, and then let's run it, this application, and see what would be the overall application status. So if I run this code, we see that it's still up. This unknown health indicator doesn't really affect the overall status. So let's say we change it to out of service. Oh, the out of service, we see it does affect the overall status, which now means the status of the application is out of service. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to highlight with regard to the health indicator. So in summary, we see that the actuator is just providing us with some endpoints, the info, the bins, the metrics, and all that. But at the end of the day, as I have shown when I started with the videos, that this data must be of business value to the organization. We want to get some value. We want to aggregate that data. We want to visualize it. We don't want when our application goes down and we lose that state. This is now we talk about now persisting those metrics, that data that comes from the actuator, persisting that data into some form of storage, time series database, or some form of storage you want. In the previous videos, I demonstrated how you can integrate your Spring application with Prometheus. And you have many other options, as I have mentioned in the previous series. You can use Neuralink, you can use Datadog, AppDynamic, Graphite, InfluxDB, or you can use Wavefront. The Wavefront one is provided by VMware. So in terms of health indicators, I will just end here. In the upcoming videos, I'm going to be talking about metrics and see how you can implement counters, timers, distribution summaries, gauges, and all that. So thank you guys. Good night.